So hello there and welcome back to the channel. This is Mel's Gaming, here with a very, very special The Hunter Call of the Wild video. Now last night I decided to return to my fallow grind for a little bit and just do a couple of runs, as I'd spent the entire previous night grinding black bear and moose and nothing ended up happening, so I thought, do you know what, I'll take a little bit of a break from the harder grinds and just return to fallow and see if anything can end up happening. And I literally did one run and I had purged this spot again. I had shot all of the bucks here and then I carried on and did the rest of the run, and then I came back to start the second run and there was a great one stood here. I couldn't believe what I was seeing because this is absolutely insane. This is my second great one fallow to spawn at this location, and in fact in the exact same zone. This is where my second great one fallow ended up spawning, which was a spoon rack the same as this rack but with the mocha fur type. It was in this zone. And then I come back here and there's another spoon rack great one in this zone, but this time with the golden fur type. This is my fourth great one fallow, and honestly I just can't believe it. I've been bouncing around between different grinds recently. I've been grinding moose, black bear, fallow deer and whitetail. And I've not really been settling on just one grind and really just hardcore going for one grind. I've been just bouncing between the different grinds and hoping that, you know, maybe something good shows up on any one of them. And like I said, the night before I really focused on moose and black bear. And then, like I said, I just thought, okay, I'll take it a bit easier tonight. I'll do a bit of fallow grinding, just because the fallow grind is a much easier grind, and just see what ends up happening. And a great one ended up happening very, very quickly. And I just can't believe it. I can't believe it. I'm putting a lot of time into my great one grinds at the moment. I've got a lot of stuff going on in real life, if I'm honest. A few things that are really, really stressing me out, from my health to some other issues, and I've been really trying to focus on grinding for these different great ones just to try and occupy my brain, because yeah, I'm quite stressed out. And honestly, last night it had been a rough day, and then I come on, grind fallow for literally one run and a great one spawns. It gave me a much needed boost, let me tell you. I started shaking, my heart started pounding. There's nothing like seeing a 10 Fable pop up, and every time for me it's such an incredibly special moment, and it just took my breath away. Like, I couldn't believe it. I know I've gotten insanely lucky recently. I know I have. Looking at the videos I've shared recently, there's been quite a few great ones, and considering how my luck was with moose, I did not expect this to happen with fallow. You know, my first great one fallow took quite a few thousand kills, and then they've all been short grinds since then. Literally the last three have all been short grinds, and we got a great one black bear in amongst that, which is just, it's nuts. I don't know why my Call of the Wild luck is so good at the moment. Like, I always say it, my real life luck balances out with my Call of the Wild luck, and yeah, it's definitely doing that. My real life luck might be absolutely shocking at the moment, but my Call of the Wild luck is definitely insanely good right now. And I don't know why it keeps happening, I don't know why it's so good, but I will take it, and I will just keep enjoying it, because yeah, it was rough with moose. It was like 5 months of trying to get a great one moose and it just not showing up. Thousands and thousands and thousands of kills, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours of work, and it just wouldn't show up, and it took, like I said, like 5 months before I got one. And now it feels like all of that bad luck is now turned into good luck for the fallow and for the other great ones as well, like the great one black bear. It's just insane. And I'm gonna keep bouncing between the different grinds, I think, between moose, black bear, fallow and whitetail, and just keep seeing what happens. I obviously now do want to still continue with fallow, because now I've got 4. I really would like to try and get to 6, so that I could have 2 huddle mounts, which I never thought I'd be saying. Especially with the first one, you know, it ended up taking quite a while. And I was seeing people get them in a few hundred kills, and I was like, okay, I'll probably just get 1, and that'll be it. It's a complete, like, I don't know what to say about it. Now I've got 4 of them, and I'm hoping to get to 6, which is just, that's insane. Like, I don't understand how this has happened. My turnaround of luck has been incredible. And I mean, can we just appreciate how freaking beautiful this buck is? my god, look at him. That golden fur is absolutely stunning. And it originally wasn't one of my favourites. It was one of the two that I liked, but wasn't necessarily in my top favourites. But I got it on my third one, on my Irish elk Great One Fallow, and now on this guy. And it's just absolutely stunning in game. And getting so close to him there and getting some really nice pictures, I was super, super happy with. He's just beautiful, and I love how the golden eyes match the golden fur. Just an incredible buck. He's just insanely beautiful. And I do, like I said, I still want to keep going and see if I can get a silver fur type and or a painted fur, because those two are a couple of my favourites. My three top favourites have always been hooded, silver, and painted. And the only two that I don't have now for Fallow are painted and silver. So I really am hoping that I can get at least one of those for the Trophy Lodge, hopefully with one of the next great ones. And, you know, we don't know how long that could end up taking. But I'm still going to keep going and still going to keep grinding Fallow, and hopefully it'll happen. And yeah, I'd also love to get the blade rack, seeing as that is the only rack I now don't have for Fallow. And seeing pictures and stuff of it actually in-game, it has really grown on me. It originally, again, I liked the three other racks more, but now I actually really like that rack as well for its own reasons. It kind of reminds me of a sun, just the shape of it, and I really think it's very, very beautiful. So I really would love to get those two furs and that one rack, and I think that would be really, really cool. And we've still got at least 2 more chances. I'm going to go for at least 2 more Great One Fallow. And if I don't get, you know, that rack or those furs, maybe I'll go for more, who knows. But yeah, just incredible. Now, I did end up following this buck, as you will see, to a rest zone, and I did end up following him to a feed zone as well. But unfortunately, this guy's zones were not in great places for photography or lighting or anything like that. But I still did go and follow him to his different zones. And I spent a while doing this, as I love to do. One, it helps me calm down, ready to take a shot at an animal like this, because, you know, it doesn't get old for me. I've had a few great ones now. I'm very fortunate to say I've had a few great ones. It doesn't get easier. I still freak out about, am I using the right caliber? Is this right? Is this ammo right? Is this gun okay? Even if it's a gun that I've been using for the diamonds and stuff, I still panic. And I'm like, I've got to get this right. I've got to get the zeroing right. Everything's got to go perfectly. And if I'm shaking and panicking when I've just spotted one, I almost don't trust myself to necessarily make that shot, so I always like to spend some time and just, you know, give myself some time to actually, okay, there's a great one, I can do this, and I know what I'm doing, and calm down sort of thing, because it takes me such by surprise every time that I get so excited and I get so nervous. Yeah, so I'd like to spend that time for many reasons. And it's also just fantastic to be able to spend some time in the presence of these incredible animals. Because like I said, you never know when you're going to get to see one again. So the longer I get to spend with them, I really like that. Because like I said, might not see one for months or a year. It all depends on your luck and your RNG. So I just like to make the most of the entire experience. And as I said, I did follow this guy to a feed zone, which we have here. But as you can see, the grass and everything in this particular area is just so tall that getting close to this guy was really next to impossible. There was like next to no cover that I could really use, and it just wasn't in a great place, unfortunately. It was a bit of a shame, but I still got to see him walking around in his environment doing his own thing. And it was really interesting to me that he was part of a bachelor group of just 3 bucks. It was him and 2 other bucks, which is really cool to see because my other great ones have been in herds. And this guy was just in a little bachelor group, which I thought was just really cool and just a bit different. And getting to watch him walking around here, he's just so gorgeous. I mean, what a stunning buck. That is absolutely incredible. And he has a huge estimate as well. That was one of the first things when I spotted him. I was like, oh, I think this guy is going to be bigger than even my last spoon rack Great One Fallow. Because the spoon rack actually does end up scoring the highest out of all of the racks for the Great One Fallow. And seeing this guy's minimum estimate of 280, I was thinking that he probably would end up scoring a little bit higher and could potentially be my biggest Great One fallow, which also is really exciting. You know, with Great Ones I don't really care about score, but at a point when you've got a few of them, it's kind of cool to see if you can get one that's even a little bit bigger. And that was something that I was also really excited about, was to see how high this guy would score, because to me he looked a little bit bigger than my previous spoon rack, just by a little bit. So I was very, very curious to see how big he actually was, because it's always interesting to know how big the different Great Ones can actually get, what their sort of max potential scores actually are. So I was very curious about that. But now I decided that it was time to finally start trying to get close enough to take a shot. And we are actually going to be using the inline muzzleloader. Now, I wanted to use a muzzleloader, but I had already used the cap lock muzzleloader to take one of my Great One whitetail back in the day, so I thought using the inline would be something a little bit different, and of course it is the newer muzzleloader, so I figured that that would be a pretty good choice. And you can see here, again, using that method that I've talked about previously, sneaking around from behind, because, like I've said before, animals seem to notice you way less when you are coming at them from a behind angle, and you can then sneak around like this to try and get broadside angles, and to get close enough for pictures, and obviously for things like this when we're actually going to take a shot. Now, I was really, really nervous. I always am when it comes to these moments. Waited for him to pick his head up, and I smoked him. You see the huge cloud of smoke from the shot, and he dropped on the spot. I could see the vital blood, so I was like, okay, it must have been good. I felt pretty good when I took the shot, but again, as I'm stood here reloading before I claim him, I'm like, that was the right caliber and everything, right? I haven't messed it up, because it's always my greatest fear is to mess up an animal like this. And we pick him up, and you can see he's not messed up in any way. He is a Great One, 282.9, which does make him my biggest Great One fallow. He is incredible. Absolutely stunning. What a beautiful beast. Just incredible. I am so, so grateful that this showed up last night. Like I said, it's been a rough few days. It's been a very rough few days. And so I've just been throwing myself at these grinds and trying to distract myself. And like I said, seeing this guy pop up last night, it was just, it couldn't have been better. It couldn't have been more perfect. It couldn't have meant more to me than it did. And it's just such a fantastic experience. And, getting to record it and getting to share it as well, that adds to that for me, at least. I really enjoy getting to capture these moments and share them. So everything about this was just so fantastic. Just an incredible animal. Amazing. An amazing experience. And I say it with every single one. I am so incredibly grateful, and I don't take it for granted. Never will I take these things showing up for granted. I've had those really bad spells of luck. I completely get what it's like when you do a Great One grind and things just don't want to show up. I've had a grind like that, and I can see it happening to others in the community, and I hope that you end up getting your Great Ones if you are out there having one of those grinds where it feels like just a struggle. I really, really hope and send as much luck as possible your way, because I know what those grinds are like, and like I said, I don't take it for granted that I've gotten really stupidly lucky recently, and I'm hoping that continues, but at some point my luck is going to run out, and I'm just going to keep going with it for as long as it possibly exists, because this has been just nuts. An incredibly nutty couple of weeks now. It's been insane. That shot was pretty much where I wanted to be. Probably could have put it a little bit further back, but still well into the lung, and obviously that was more than enough to drop him on the spot. And compared to my previous spoon rack Great One, this guy actually ends up being completely even. My first spoon rack was slightly uneven. One antler was slightly taller and bigger than the other, but as you'll see looking at the true score, this guy is actually completely even. So it's not like getting two of the same for me. It's completely different animals. Obviously they've got the different furs as well, which is really, really cool. They're just so awesome and so unique. And I love this. Getting to hunt great ones is one of my favourite things in this game, because I love chasing really rare animals, whether it's rare fur types or diamonds that are hard to get, or of course the great ones, which are kind of like the pinnacle of all of that. It's, for me, a goal that I always love to try and achieve, to set myself on a grind and then try to actually achieve it. And these moments where it pays off and I do achieve it, it never gets old for me. It never gets old. It's what keeps me coming back to this game. That adrenaline kick, the way my heart starts pounding when I spot something like this, that's what keeps me coming back. That experience is what keeps me coming back. And what an incredible animal to have harvested. I'm so grateful for the opportunity. You know, the luck that has to go into something like this actually showing up. I'm incredibly grateful for it. It's so awesome. Now we're going to take a look at him here in the Trophy Lodge, and he's going to go here for now opposite my huddle mount of rare fallow, including the super rare that we got on this grind. And he's going to go here for now, and obviously, like I said, I would like to try and get 2 more and put them into a huddle mount the same as the first 3 that we got. So he'll stay here for now, and then there's a potential that I may move him once there's hopefully another huddle to make. But I like him here for now. I just love how he looks. He is so beautiful. And like I said, the golden eyes with the golden fur is just so stunning. And that white patch on the neck and the dark band around the neck is just so beautiful. What an incredible animal. That's all I can say, is what an incredible animal. And I'm so blessed and fortunate to actually have harvested another one. And it just, I don't know, like I said, I don't know how I'm getting this lucky, but I am. And I don't know how many kills this little grind was, because I haven't been keeping track. I haven't been really counting these grinds that I've been doing, same with like the black bear and stuff. I've been, keeping some notes of the diamonds and stuff and some track of that, but even not too much with that, because I found that it's less stressful for me when I'm not counting, because if you're counting and things just aren't showing up and you're like, dang, I'm like 3,000 kills into this grind and nothing's happening, then I find sometimes I can get discouraged. And at the moment, I really don't want that. And because I'm bouncing between, like I said, fallow and whitetail and moose and black bear, it's kind of hard for me to keep track in the way I normally do. So I'm not really keeping track of these grinds at the minute. I'm just shooting things and hoping for the best. And that's working for me. The one thing I have changed, and it's basically everyone I know has changed this way now, from my creator friends to everybody else I speak to, is the only things I haven't been shooting are the very smallest of the species. So like for fallow, 1s and 2s I haven't been bothering with. I've just been focusing on 3s and 4s and obviously 5s if they show up, and shooting those. But yeah, that's basically all I've been doing, and then just shooting as many as I possibly can. And obviously it's paying off. The amount of time and work I'm putting into these grinds is really paying off, and I've been trying to make my grinds as efficient as possible. Fallow for me now are really efficient. I can get runs done very quickly. Moose are pretty efficient, black bears are pretty efficient, as much as they can be, with bears being the way that they are. Whitetail I'm still working on, because that's still a much newer grind, so I'm still, moving my setups around and trying to find the locations and stuff that I'm actually focusing on grinding, because I've also kind of changed that. I don't necessarily grind every single spot anymore. Obviously, if there's just a group of level 2s, then I'm not going to bother shooting those, so yeah, I've been trying to make my setups more and more efficient, and I feel like I've done pretty well with them, and I'm actually pretty proud with how they've come along. It takes a lot of time. And, with fallow, it's taken, it's got to be well over 6,000 kills now in total for these 4 great ones. So, yeah, it's getting to the point now where it's really efficient, and I'm really happy with that. And like I said, I'm just trying to do the same with my other grinds as I go along. And, yeah, it's been really enjoyable for me. It's less of a grind at this point, and it's always stressful for me trying to get the first great one of a species, if that makes sense. So trying to get the first fallow, just to prove that I can do it for myself, to prove that I can actually get one. And then after that, I always find that I'm more relaxed and I find things a bit easier. And so at this point for me, it's just pure fun, and I really like that. The stress always is with trying to get the first one. That's always the thing for me. And then once I can get one, then I feel like I can do it, and then it just all sorts starts to flow basically, and makes things a lot easier. So I've been having a lot of fun with trying to make things as, pretty efficient, and trying to make things as good as possible on my grinds, and I'm really, really pleased with how things have gone. And I'm just, like I said, I'm so, so grateful for this. It's a massive thing for me. And yeah, it just means so, so much. And I hope that comes through in these videos, because yeah, it really does mean the world to me. But before I get too emotional, that is going to be it for this video. So thank you so, so much for watching and for all your support as always. You guys have been absolutely incredible. You're just absolutely fantastic, and I've said it before, it is really humbling seeing all the support and all of your kind messages. It really does mean the absolute world. But that is going to be it from me, so thank you so, so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.